Welcome to this video on Work Package 4 on the Gender Dimension in Research and Innovation of the GenderActionplus project. My name is Lydia González. I work for the Spanish Foundation for Science and Technology, and I have been leading this work package since 2022. Now that the project is coming to an end, it's a good moment to reflect on its outcomes and priorities for the future. So when it comes to Work Package 4 on Gender Dimension in Research and Innovation, it's fair to say that one of the most important outcomes refers to adopting a broad perspective to the topic. From a terminological point of view, from the gender dimension in research and innovation to an inclusive gender analysis in research and innovation, acknowledging the debates on intersectionality, from the RFOs as the key agents of these policies to a whole sector approach, and from the consortium members as the main targets of our actions to opening to new stakeholders. So first, we have been working during the last part of the project with the concept inclusive gender analysis in research and innovation that you can find in the ERA Forum subgroup on inclusive gender equality framework for the integration and evaluation of an inclusive gender analysis in research and innovation that was published in 2025. And by inclusive gender analysis in research and innovation, we mean, first, sex-gender analysis in the content of research and innovation throughout the whole research and innovation project. Second, intersectional factors of inequality that may be intersecting with sex-gender in a given object of study. And third, including diverse target groups and end users in research and innovation projects. Second, the principle, a whole sector approach through national guidelines and national structures to coordinate this whole sector approach, acknowledges the potential on having these national guidelines in place to promote an inclusive gender analysis in research and innovation, and the need to involve all key actors of the ecosystem, national authorities, higher education institutions, mainly when it comes to an inclusive gender perspective in teaching content, scientific journals and their editorial policies to ensure the integration of an inclusive gender analysis in the content of publications, and the business enterprise sector and their innovation projects for a greater impact and accelerated change of these policies. And third, opening to new stakeholders means that during these years, we have been supporting and providing advice to the ERA Forum subgroup on inclusive gender equality. We have organized workshops and sessions with the COARA working groups working in these policies. We have participated in workshops organized by the Inspiring ERA project. We have been in close contact with Inspire regarding the concept of inclusive gender analysis in research and innovation and its application to the BESS sector. And we have been inviting research funding organizations beyond our consortium and even beyond the ERA to discuss with us the main priorities and difficulties that they find in implementing these policies. These have been our main outcomes, and our priorities for the future can be summarized in securing the inclusiveness and intersectional perspective in all the work regarding the gender dimension in research and innovation towards an inclusive perspective, implementing the framework for the integration and evaluation of an inclusive gender analysis in research and innovation that has been issued by the ERA Forum subgroup on inclusive gender equality, and expanding the agents involved in the design, implementation, and evaluation of these policies. So for the inclusiveness intersectional perspective, we can take advantage of the inclusive JEPs framework considered in Horizon Europe for the JEP eligibility criterion, also included in the EU Gender Equality Champions Award, and also of the framework for the integration and evaluation of an inclusive gender analysis in research and innovation content. This has been a deliverable of ERA Action 5 in the former period of the ERA Policy Agenda 2022-2024, where one of the expected outcomes was developing principles for the integration and evaluation of the gender perspective in research and innovation content in cooperation with national RFOs. The work in this field will continue in the upcoming ERA Policy Agenda 2025-2027 with the new ERA action on gender equality, strengthening the inclusive and intersectional perspective in the European research area. One of the expected outcomes will be designing and monitoring an evaluation approach, increasing the uptake of the integration of the gender dimension in research and innovation content. To give you an example of how to expand the agents involved in these policies, in Spain, the Spanish Foundation for Science and Technology is in charge of managing a seal of quality for the Spanish scientific journals. In the last edition, and for the first time, the gender criteria for evaluating the editorial policies of these journals has been expanded to include not only a balanced representation among authors and reviewers, but also the integration of an inclusive gender analysis in the publications and a proper evaluation of its integration. I hope this has been inspiring for you, and we can count on all of you to achieve these priorities for the future of this field towards an inclusive gender analysis in research and innovation. Thank you for your attention.